artificial intelligence is changing, well, pretty much everything. But I'd argue that nowhere is its potential more profound or more personal than in the world of medicine. So let's dive in.
So, yeah, that's the big question, right? Is AI here to replace our doctors, or is it here to create a kind of partnership that could completely revolutionize how we diagnose, treat, and maybe even prevent disease altogether? Okay, so first up, let's talk about the most immediate way AI is jumping into medicine. It's acting as this incredibly powerful assistant, helping our doctors make smarter, faster decisions when it comes to diagnosis and treatment. Look, doctors are incredible, but they're also human. Misdiagnoses, they're not super common, but they do happen. Maybe it's because a doctor is at the end of a long shift, or a hospital is just swamped. This is where AI steps in, not as a replacement, but as a supportive tool to help catch the things we humans might miss.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, a big piece of the puzzle is something called a convolutional neural network, or CNN for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a super-powered pattern spotter. It can sift through thousands of images, like MRIs or even just photos, and learn to pick out these incredibly subtle patterns that are basically invisible to even the most trained human eye.
And this isn't some far-off future stuff. It's happening right now. For example, researchers have built a CNN that can help diagnose Kawasaki disease, a really serious illness in kids that has some pretty vague symptoms, often from just a single photo taken on a smartphone. That's a total game changer, especially for places without a ton of medical resources.
Okay, but how accurate is it really? Well, check this out. In one study that was looking at a notoriously tough-to-diagnose condition, the AI model hit this number, 98%. Wow.
So that 98%, where did that come from? It was from a study on colorectal cancer. And get this, for comparison, board-certified human pathologists, the absolute experts, their accuracy was 96.9%. Now, this isn't about replacing anyone. It's about having a partner, a second set of eyes that is just incredibly precise and, never gets tired.
And it goes way beyond just diagnosis. AI is making treatment personal. I mean, for something like rheumatoid arthritis, doctors often have to go through months of trial and error with different drugs. But now, AI models can analyze a patient's genetic data and predict how they'll respond to a specific drug, pointing to the best treatment right from day one.
All right, this brings us to our second big idea. What if we could move beyond just treating sickness? AI is opening the door to predicting our future health, basically shifting medicine from being reactive to being proactive.
Just stop and think about that for a second. What if we could see a chronic disease coming before it actually takes hold? It's a fundamental shift in how we even think about healthcare. Let's take diabetes. AI models can crunch a whole bunch of data. We're talking everything from your past glucose levels and BMI to things you might not even think about, like external stress or how much you're sleeping. By looking at all of that, it can forecast your risk, and that gives you and your doctor a crucial head start to stop problems before they even begin.
Okay, point number 3. This one's huge. Medical research can be incredibly slow and unbelievably expensive. Well, AI is here to put it into hyperdrive.
So AI is hitting two of the biggest roadblocks in research. First, clinical trials. Finding the right patients, that can take forever. AI can scan millions of medical records in a blink. And second, drug discovery. You know how many drugs work in mice but then fail in humans? A ton. AI flips the script by analyzing human data right from the start to find better candidates, saving an immense amount of time and money.
And again, this is not just a what-if scenario. There's a company called Verge Genomics that did exactly this. They used AI to sift through human data and found a potential new drug for ALS, a truly devastating disease. I mean, that's just incredible.
Heck, even the way we write about this stuff is changing. It might sound crazy, but AI tools like ChatGPT have actually been credited as co-authors on scientific papers. But, and this is a big but, it's a double-edged sword, for sure. On one hand, these tools are fantastic for brainstorming or synthesizing a bunch of data. On the other hand, they can be totally unreliable. They might pull in the wrong information or even just invent fake citations. So, for now, think of them as a very powerful assistant, not the lead author.
All right, let's move on to our fourth point. We're going to zoom out and look at how AI is rewiring the whole healthcare system itself. It's not just about the fancy science, it's about tackling the mountain of paperwork and admin tasks that bog everything down.
Just think of all that behind-the-scenes stuff that eats up so much time. We're talking scheduling appointments, answering basic prescription questions, instantly scribing notes during a doctor's visit, and even trying to make sense of the nightmare that is insurance billing. AI can automate all of that.
So why is this such a big deal? Simple. It's about burnout. When we free up doctors and nurses from all that administrative work, we're directly fighting physician burnout. And when our healthcare providers have more time and less stress, we all get better, safer care. It's a win-win. So where does all this leave us? Well, it's really not a story about machines taking over our doctors' jobs. It's about a powerful new partnership. But, and you knew there was a but, this partnership comes with a really, really big warning label.
This is probably the single most important thing to get about AI in medicine. It's simple. Bias in, bias out. And AI is only as good and as fair as the data we feed it.
You have to remember, humans are the ones designing and programming these systems. That means our own biases, conscious or not, can sneak their way in. If the data used to train an AI mostly comes from one group of people, it might not work so well for everybody else. And that is a huge, huge problem we have to solve.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The future here isn't AI versus the doctor. It's AI with the doctor. The AI brings the incredible data crunching, the pattern spotting, the tireless support. But the doctor? They bring the judgment, the experience, the empathy, that human connection.
At the end of the day, AI is just a tool. You can think of it like a mirror. It only reflects the data we show it and the priorities we set for it. So the real question isn't just about the technology, it's about us. As we build this incredible future, how do we make sure that this powerful new mirror reflects the very best of who we are?